There are some things I adore simply because they are so easy and so very good. French onion soup is exactly that. I'm always amazed at how much flavor can be coaxed out of a very few ingredients. Onion soup is very easy. I'm sautéing a half a pound of smoked bacon until all the fat is rendered. You're going to reserve the cooked bacon and keep the fat in the pan. That's what you're going to use to brown the onions. Use 3 pounds of onions, and you can use a combination of white onions, yellow onions, red onions, but always try to include at least one sweet one, like a Vidalia or a Maui onion, or an Oso sweet onion. Here is the Vidalia. Just use a very sharp knife, cut off the end, peel off the skin, and slice as thinly as you possibly can. If you have trouble slicing thinly, cut the onion in half and then slice the halves. This way you can really hold on to the onion and slice down through the flesh, getting very almost transparent slices. That's a very nice thickness for onion soup. I actually love onion soup any time of year, but the cool months are really the best. When the bacon is a good, crispy brown, just drain it on a piece of paper toweling. And right into the hot fat of the bacon, you will add your onions. We want to slowly cook the onions. Cooking slowly to caramelize the natural sugars in the onions is what we really want to do. So add 3 pounds of onions. Looks like a lot of onion, but you know, when they cook down, they will get to be about 1/4 of this volume. This may take, it may take 40 minutes to brown the onions. Stirring every now and then. If you don't want to use bacon in your soup, and you can substitute olive oil or vegetable oil for the fat of the bacon, try just adding a little bit of sugar to the onions while they're browning. That helps the caramelization, and you can get a nice, rich, dark color without any of the bacon fat. To make this onion soup, you must have on hand some really tasty beef stock. You need 8 cups of it. Before you cook this down too much though, add 2 tablespoons of fresh thyme leaves, pulled off as much as you can from the stem. Adds an additional flavor and an additional fragrance to this soup. Now I've already cooked down 1 pot so I can show you what the onions are going to ultimately look like. Such a wonderful color. And there's a little bit of, brown around the edges. Sucs, the French call it, the sugars. And we want to deglaze this with a half a cup of dry vermouth. Not sweet vermouth, but dry. These are the flavors that make the onion soup, the traditional French version. If you don't have vermouth, you could use a white wine. And now add 1 tablespoon of coarse salt and some freshly ground black pepper to taste. I'll add, maybe a half a teaspoon. And just keep cooking it, evaporating that vermouth. Add your 8 cups of beef stock. Add a little bit at first just to make sure that every speck of sucs is off the sides. And then you can pour the rest of your stock. Now bring this to a boil, then reduce it to a simmer and cook for at least 30 minutes. You don't want to cook it so the onions completely disintegrate. You want to have that texture. Just taste it and you'll see when it's ready. Now while the soup is cooking, you can start slicing your bread for the crouton. I like to use a good home-style bread, something that has a nice crust, and cut it about half an inch thick. And we're going to broil this bread. You can toast it, but traditionally it's just toasted under the flame. While you're making the croutons, 1 for each bowl, you can actually make a few more just to serve alongside the soup. We can just place them right on a cookie sheet. I have a salamander in this kitchen. It works wonderfully for toasting, but you could do this on a grill, in the oven, or you can do it right in a toaster or toaster oven. Now I'll show you how to use the salamander. Salamander is an open-air broiler, which is on top of a stove, usually at eye level, and it's great for toasting. But you have to really watch because it toasts very, very quickly. Our soup is just coming to a boil. I'll reduce it to sort of a high simmer, and you can cover it even like halfway just to let it simmer. I have this on maximum. Just keep watching. They look great. See how fast that is? So turn them. Well, here are the toasts, and we're ready to assemble the soup. Let's see. Oh, it looks great. Simmering nicely. It's reduced a bit, you can see. And now it's time to assemble the final soup bowls. And we have 4 of them. Very nice to use a little bit of dry, flavorful sherry, just to, as they say, bless the bowl. Don't put too much, just, maybe a half a teaspoon to give, again, that authentic flavor. And now, first, I'm going to place a crouton in each bowl. If the crouton's too big, just break it in half. Now, sprinkle with some of the crispy bacon. And then ladle on the soup. My favorite part of the onion soup is the bowl, actually, with all the Gruyere cheese melted down around the sides. And now for the final topping of Gruyere cheese. It's very important to get a flavorful cheese. And I'm just using a vegetable peeler to make long, thin strips of the cheese to place over the top. And if you like that look of the cheese kind of falling over the edge of the bowl, let it hang over a little bit as you place it on the top of the crouton. Then, right before the guests are going to sit down, place these bowls under the preheated broiler. So here we go. It just looks wonderful. And now the bowls go back under the flame of the salamander. Now these are heat-proof bowls. Make sure that that's what you have. And watch carefully. You get them out just as the cheese melts and bubbles. There, I think the soup's done. These look just exactly right. And now I'll show you how I serve them. Place each bowl right on a plate and garnish the top with just one little sprig of thyme. And here you have the classic French onion soup.